Hello again, I am Blunty. As I record this, there is now less than a week till the beta of New World. An MMO action RPG that to some is a sign of impending doom because Amazon Games can't do anything right, and to the rest of us is something we've been looking forward to for quite some time and have seen the progress improve and improve and improve over time. In fact, I did a whole 35-minute long video about every single step of improvement they've done since 2016 on this game, and I have been watching it the entire time, and I have played the preview, and I have been in a couple of the alphas, and I am still very excited to get going with this game, and I will be taking full advantage of as much of the beta time as possible so I can experiment with weapon combinations and such and figure out where I want to go and how I want to go when the game finally launches at the end of next month. Until then, I've spent most of the past week and a half stalking the two main Reddits and the Steam forums. Oh my god, Steam forums. Find a bigger collection of idiots, I dare you. Noticing patterns of the worried and hyped alike, and yes, the sad little trolls who spend their days desperately trying to annoy strangers online because they have nothing else in their life. Press F in the comment section to commemorate the self-respect and dignity and intelligence that have all died within the hearts and minds of these sad little people. And while you're down there in the comment section, go ahead and make sure you're subbed and belled and give the video a thumb up, I suppose. Please? Helps. Anyway, here we are, the top 10 questions about the launch of New World that I've been seeing brought up again and again and again and again and again and again and again. I think maybe every time I see them come up again, I'll just link to my video and parasitically suck a few views out of it. YouTubing, it's a lifestyle. Number 10, how to get access to the closed beta. If you buy the game, pre-order the game more specifically, you will get access to the closed beta. Word is there will also be a few invites for the closed beta going out for anyone who has previously signed up as a tester during the alpha period. So even if you don't pre-order, you might, just might, maybe get an invite to the closed beta, but I wouldn't count on it. The best way to get access is the guaranteed way, and that is to pre-order. But you can refund. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Number 9, should you buy on Amazon or should you buy on Steam? Which version should I buy? Well, here's the thing. There is no version. The Steam version is the only version. That is the only place the game exists. That is the only place you can launch it from. If you buy this game on Amazon, what you're buying is a Steam code. So it doesn't matter where you buy it. Buy it wherever is more convenient for you. Maybe you've got some money in your Steam wallet. Maybe you've got an Amazon gift voucher. Maybe you like one storefront more than the other. It doesn't matter. It's the same game, launched from the same place. It's all Steam all day, all the time. And it doesn't matter which storefront you use, you get access to the closed beta either way. Although if you do buy on Amazon, do make sure your Steam and Amazon accounts are linked to make sure the process goes nice and smoothly for you. Number 8, when does the beta start and end? Again, this is a very easy thing to find, but I see people asking it multiple times a day, all the time, and it starts on July 20th. That date, very easy to find. The end date, a little bit harder to find, but not that much harder. It's April the 2nd. So the beta runs for a total of just under 2 weeks, and it ends on a Monday, giving the devs a solid work week to start nailing down and examining whatever vital bugs or server issues the beta reveals before launch at the end of August, because that's what a closed beta is for. Number 7. Do you get to keep your progress from the beta, or will there be a server wipe? Of course there's going to be a server wipe. It's a beta, not early access. A beta is for testing, for bug squishing, for testing the servers and make sure everything runs smoothly, to find out which bugs new players run into more often. What is the more important things to fix so the launch goes smoothly? It is not a head start against everybody else. It is a beta, not early access. Say it with me, a beta is not early access. That's why we have two different terms for them. They are different things. Number 6, can you change factions? And this is often cross-pollinated with which faction should you choose? Does it make a difference? Well, the short answer to that is no, it doesn't make a difference. Factions get the same kind of gear. They look cosmetically different, and the badge you get next to your name is a different color depending on what faction you choose. So it really doesn't matter. Pick whatever faction that appeals to you most, or pick whatever faction you and your friends decide to group up in. You can change factions if you find out your friends have all joined a different faction, or you just want to join a different faction for whatever your reason is. You can only do it once every 120 days, so 3 times a year basically, and it resets any faction progress you've been earning towards faction-specific rewards. See, there's faction-specific quests that get you faction-specific, rewards. So if you change faction, all of that resets. So only change faction if you really need to, and try and choose carefully to start with. Talk to your mates. If you've got a group of mates that are all going to be playing, have a chat to them, decide beforehand where are you going to go. And of course, to stop the most obvious exploit and unbalancing of the servers, you cannot change to the dominant faction at that time. So if someone's controlling all of the map, you can't just switch to them on a whim just to get the benefits of being on the faction that has control. Number 5. Are there guilds? Yes, there are guilds, except they're not called guilds, they're called companies, even though the wording on one of the pre-order bonuses says guilds. I guess they changed the name after they decided what pre-order bonuses were going to be. But yes, companies. And companies are 100 players strong. And considering the biggest PvP mode in the game is 50 versus 50, that means each guild can have like half of their players just be focused on crafting, if you like. So very PvP, PvE friendly sort of number there, I suppose. Number 4, speaking of PvP, yes, there is PvP. There are several modes of PvP, in fact, all of which are completely optional. So if you don't like PvP at all, you don't have to engage with them. You can play support instead. You can be a crafter and just make good gear for the PvP players in your company. There is a flagging system for the open world. So if you are a PvP player and you just want to go about your game sort of feeling that sort of on edge, you could be attacked at any moment kind of thing, you can certainly do that. Just flag in a city, out you go into the world. Some quests, especially faction quests, may require a PvP flag to be on for you to take on that quest. Not all faction quests are like this, but some are. There is an endgame mode exclusive to a very competitive kind of PvP warfare, in which even PvE players can feel useful because it's not all person versus person. There are some PvE elements in this overall PvP mode, so you're not even left out there if you're not specializing in PvP. You can play a support role active in this war. And along your way to the endgame, there are a few low-level PvP modes as well. So, if you've heard along the way that this game started out life as a PvP-focused free-for-all sandbox kind of thing, and then they changed it, well, yes, they did, but they just made PvP much more controlled, much more fair, much more selectable and optional, so you can choose exactly how you want to participate in PvP if you want to participate in PvP at all. It is a much better system than a free-for-all gangfest. Number 3, the cash shop worries. This comes up quite a lot. There seems to be one guy in the Steam forums who keeps going through various sock accounts as they get banned, who keeps bringing it up every couple of days, as a matter of fact, trying to stoke fear, uncertainty, and doubt into people's minds for some reason. Shits and giggles, who knows, might have a serious mental disorder. I can't diagnose anyone like that. The reality of the cash shop is, yes, there will be a cash shop. As I said in my big 35-minute long history of the game, we've known about this for many, many years now. But they are treading very carefully with what they're planning to put in the cash shop and what they're talking about putting in the cash shop after an outcry earlier this year over some badly worded patch notes. And a bunch of YouTubers made very hysterical videos about it. I made a video about it trying not to be too hysterical, but still being pretty critical of the potential of a cash shop and, pay to win mechanics just wrecking the game. But there was such a massive outcry. The developers heard us. They know we hate play to win. They know we don't want it in, so they're going to be very careful about what they do. But they also want ways to help newcomers and latecomers to the game to catch up to their established friends within the game so they don't feel so left behind. So things like rested XP boosts are being considered. This is rested XP boost, by the way, not an XP boost overall. So it's not like you just pay for extra XP. It is a pay mode to boost your rested XP, which is a boost that builds up after you've not played the game for a while. So if you're only playing the game for, a couple of days a week or something, you can boost that rested XP you normally get, which is in other MMOs as well. If you played WoW, you know what we're talking about. So stuff like that is being considered as a helpful catch-up mechanic, and we won't even see any of that until next year at the earliest, the developers have said. So at least to start with, it is going to be pure cosmetics. You are right to be a little bit concerned about the cash shop, unbalancing the game a little bit, but as long as we keep being vocal about it, and vocal in a reasonable way, not an extremist flailing arms lunatic kind of way, I think we can keep this under control. The developers so far have been extremely good about listening to player feedback. The years-long alpha sessions have shaped the game dramatically from what it started out as, thanks in largest part to direct player feedback. They're listening to players. They continue to listen to players. I feel pretty confident they're not going to ruin the game by treating the cash shop in a really irresponsible manner. But business is business, so just keep your eye on it. Don't take it for granted, but don't just assume the worst immediately either. Go in with a reasonable mind. Number 2, can you pre-order, play the beta, and still get a refund if you decide the game is not for you? Yes, you can. The well-known Steam refund policy dictates that you can only play up to 2 hours of a game to be eligible for a refund. This is generally considered enough time to get a taste for the game, decide whether it's going to be okay or not, but more or less it's designed to, does the game actually run properly on your system? This is what the 2 hours is really for. With an MMO, 2 hours is plenty enough time to make sure the thing can run on your computer, but not nearly enough time to get a taste of whether or not you're going to like the game. 2 hours is nothing in an MMO. Fortunately, the Steam refund policy also dictates that it only starts counting after the official launch of the game. So things like betas don't count towards it. You can play 30, 40, 50 hours of the beta and still be eligible for a refund of your pre-order purchase. Your beta playtime is not even going to count towards your tracked playtime for the final game as well, because it will be a different client, essentially. Just like the alphas and just like the preview event last year was a separate client. That has since disappeared from Steam. So even if you spend 70 hours in the beta, you are going to start playing the official game at 0 played hours, just like everybody else. So you won't even be able to flex that E-pin. Number 1, it's not really the number 1 question as far as frequency is concerned, but can casuals still enjoy this game if they've only got, a couple of hours a night or a few nights a week even, and now they're going to feel competitive or just completely outstripped by the, other end of the spectrum, the complete no-lifers who spend all day, every waking moment, taking breaks or maybe a potty break every now and again, who just sort of absolutely sweaty basement no-life this game. Well, yeah, you can absolutely enjoy this game, only dipping your toe in a few hours a night, few nights a week. There's nothing stopping you doing that. You're not going to be left in the dark. You're not going to be left alone doing this. There will be plenty of other players taking it slow, either by choice, which is what I will be doing. I'm not going to rush to end game because I want to enjoy everything along the way. There's also plenty of other people out there like you with, jobs and responsibilities and kids, or, maybe they deliberately limit their screen time so they can have a better life balance because gaming isn't all they want to do in their life. There's plenty of other people out there that are going to be playing this game and enjoying it that you can enjoy with, going at the same pace as them, alongside all these other, far more time-invested players. And guess what? As a casual player, you can even benefit from the people who are no-lifing the game because they'll be, dedicating hundreds of hours into their crafting and stuff, and you'll just be able to go to the in-game market, spend a bit of your gold on some fancy weapons and stuff without having to work for them. Suckers. So there we are, top 10 things you might wanted to have known. Good sentence structure there, Blunty. Well done. Top 10 questions about the launch of New World and the associated beta. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this has been useful and or informative to you. Thank you as always to the patron scrolling up above there who's above and beyond support. Helps me tremendously. Thank you for that. I am Blunty. I will catch you next time. Thank you for watching.